Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. I am Adam. I'm outside Vicarage Road where Manchester United have been beaten 2-0 by Watford. And something that I have described as the definition of insanity, and it really is the definition of insanity, by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Manchester United here today at Watford. We've seen how much we have struggled against teams that like to sit in, like to make it compact, like to give us possession of the ball, like to let us play with it. And we can't break them down. It's not good enough, and Manchester United have to get a lot better than that against these kind of teams, especially against the team bottom of the league. It quite simply wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough from Manchester United today. Abysmal from back to front. Abysmal from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And that's not me saying Ole out. You all know I'm not that kind of guy. I don't start running around screaming my head off, losing my head every single opportunity that I can get. But Ole needs to do something to change these kind of things, because we're seeing it far too often. How many times can you do it now? He was let down today. First half, Jesse Lingard, you have to be scoring that chance, Jesse. Sorry, whether you go for the dink, you go for a placement, you have to score that chance. 0-0, we're under pressure, we need the points, we need the wins against the bottom half team, bottom of the table team. We needed that win, and we needed that goal. And he should have taken that opportunity. He didn't. Bad mistake from Jesse Lingard. And then in the second half, David De Gea. What the fuck are you doing, mate? What is that goalkeeping from David De Gea? It was poor. It was shocking. It wasn't good enough from David De Gea. My little sister would have saved that. What's he doing? I didn't get it from David De Gea. It was poor, and it just left us on the back foot straight away. We had no opportunity to get back into the game from then, because you know what United are like? We're not creating any opportunities, we're not creating any chances, we're not breaking teams down when they're sitting. So we were never getting back into it after that 1-0, and it was a gift of a goal, a Christmas gift of a goal from fucking David De Gea. And you got to ask, what are you doing, De Gea? What are you doing? Far too often in this team, we see players that are supposed to be wiser, supposed to be more experienced, supposed to be the ones, covering up for the inadequacies of the younger players. And we're seeing them perform poorly. Whether it's David De Gea, Ashley Young, Victor Lindelof. I know Victor Lindelof isn't that old, but, these players, quite frankly, ain't performing. Nemanja Matic doesn't perform when he plays. So the experienced players letting us down is frustrating as well. We're all expecting inconsistencies due to a young squad. We're all expecting that, but just oh man, when you're making them mistakes, De Gea, what is going on there? And then we give him a penalty, and it was Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Now, I'm not going to lay into Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He's been one of our better players this season, and it's the first tackle I've seen him actually miss. It's the first tackle I've seen him actually get wrong. So I can't be too angry at Aaron Wan-Bissaka, but again, diving in. Now, to be fair, I can't tell whether De Gea would have done anything. He probably would have scored anyway, so, diving in is the best opportunity. Hopefully, De Gea saves the penalty, but it was a stonewall penalty. And then backs it to the wall, 2-0 down. We're never getting back from 2-0 down. I know we did against Sheffield United, who are a much better team than Watford. Which begs the question, why can't we beat these smaller teams? Why can't we beat these teams that are sitting in? Why can't we break these teams down? Now, it's easy to say, look, without Paul Pogba, it's really poor. We're lacking that creative hub in the team. We're lacking that creativity, and hopefully now Pogba's back, as we've seen in the last 15, 20 minutes, we're creating some chances. But that's far too easy of an excuse, surely. Something has to be done on the training pitch, surely. Something has to be done tactically, surely. We have to be changing these things, because far too often we get an opportunity. That's 2 points dropped here against Watford. 3 points dropped here against Watford. 2 points dropped against Villa. 2 points dropped against Everton. 2 points dropped against Sheffield United. How many more points? I've already said fucking 9 points there in 4 recent games. We're not getting these points, and it's all well and good beating the likes of City, beating the likes of Spurs, but when you can't beat Watford, you can't beat Villa, teams that are near the bottom of the table, you're not going to get anywhere, and you're not going to be sitting in the top half of the table or in the top 4 where we want to be at the end of the season. We want to be in the top 4. We need Champions League football. And we're not going to get that playing like this. And that's what I said. We're not going to get Champions League football because of the inadequacies in terms of playing staff, in terms of maturity, in terms of taking chances, and maybe in terms of our manager's tactics. And he needs to change something. He needs to take responsibility to change something. And I want to see some signs of improvement and working on the training field. Right, how are we going to break these teams down? It's all well and good when they've got possession of the ball. We can use our pace and our trickery, win the ball back early, play the ball quickly, and break. We all know how many times we can do that. We can do that against teams that are going to have more possession of the ball, teams that maybe aren't going to show us the respect of a Watford or a Villa or a Sheffield United. But these teams that are going to show us that respect, and they're going to think, you know what, Man United, we need to stick 2 banks of 4 behind here. They're going to do it. But in fact, actually today, there wasn't even much of that backs to the wall defending from Watford. It was far too easy for them, and I'm just really, really gutted. Zach talking shit in the comments, to be honest, saying if you can't say Ali out, you're not speaking from the heart. First of all, I don't say Ali in, Ali out, Jose in, Jose out. I never do that, because when you do that, you lose all sense of balance. Like I've said before, you can't see the good and you can't see the bad. I've literally just told you why I think Ali got it wrong or is getting it wrong, but you want me to scream managers out. This is why we see all this shit going on with Arsenal Fan TV. They've got to a position now where everyone's poking and prodding them and just waiting for someone to say something outrageous or lose their head or cry on camera or do something dumb like that. And you expect it from everybody. Not me, mate. Not me. You've come to the wrong YouTube channel. Now, it might cost me numbers. It might cost me viewers. It might cost me subscribers. But I tell you what, it won't cost me longevity. And I don't give a fuck. I ain't going to be that guy screaming Ali out because we've lost the game. I didn't think Jose should have been manager towards the end. But I never screamed Jose out. And I also gave every single manager time, and I will give Ali time. He needs time, but you have to deserve time. And we have to see improvements. We have to see improvements. Tactically, naive to keep doing the same thing and think it's going to change. And players are getting away with poor performances. It's frustrating. How have we regressed so much since Jose left? What did Jose leave, you nutcase? Jose left absolutely nothing for us to work with. We've got rid of most of Jose's team. People like to say, oh, Jose got second with this team. It wasn't the same team for starters. And that's not me excusing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He needs to do better in terms of, get more out of his team. But also, what the fuck was going on with that team today? Even McTominay and Fred, who have been pretty good recently, were diabolical, absolutely diabolical. Needs to change that. A little bit of light on for you guys now. As I walk through these dark streets of Watford. I'm going to do a United Road podcast today as well, which is interesting. But currently walking through these dark streets of Watford. Why is Luke Shaw still starting as well in Premier League games? Can Luke Shaw be our cup left back? Because the geezer just stagnated as hell, man. What you lot saying anyway? We've done fan cams today. Loads of interesting chat. One fella was adamant Ole's not the man, but then when he discussed his thoughts further, he was kind of saying he needs time and he needs windows. There were others that are just backing him, and there's others that realise that we need to change something in terms of not the manager, but we can't keep doing this, repeating the same errors over and over again. We have to change something. Tactically as well. It's like the 4-2-3-1 don't do it for me. I can't stand it, It's all right when it works, and you've got quality players in every single position. But for me, too flat, doesn't encourage enough off the ball movement. Because what happens with the 4-2-3-1 is, it shouldn't be this way, but it often is you got a midfield two that think, all right, we got to sit. So now you got two midfielders that aren't really thinking about the creative side of things. They're thinking about, right, we got to win this ball and give it back to front four. And the responsibility for chance creation just gets lost somewhere. Unless you've got someone like a Paul Pogba in number 10 or in the midfield too that will take the risks and try and make things happen. There's no responsibility on anyone, and I just think that's one of the main problems with a 4-2-3-1. It doesn't ask enough of the players around. And yeah, I think you should do more. Get hitting that like button, get subscribing to the channel, guys, as well. Nearly at the car now. I've parked on someone's drive, so I use this app to find people's driveways to park on. So I'm literally parked just down the road from Vicarage Road. I'm parked on Vicarage Road, but as in down the road from the stadium. Let's walk into the car now. Need to spend big, says Paul Jewett. We do need to spend big. Wan-Bissaka shows that he can defend, but Luke Shaw can't, says Ross. Luke Shaw can't defend or attack. He doesn't do attack enough for me. He's far too scared to do anything. United have already spent big, says Chris, which is true, but a lot of what we spent on isn't in the team anymore. Lukaku, we got money back for him. You know, who we spent big on in this team? Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, Pogba, Marshall, Fred. Apart from that, not an awful lot of players that we've spent massive amounts on in this side. So I hear what you're saying, but I disagree at the same time a little bit. So just get into the car. Just going to turn this light off so I don't wake up the household with some flashing lights and stuff. But I'm at the car now, so we'll let this roll for another 5-10 minutes. Keep your thoughts coming in. There'll be some light on soon, don't worry about that. But keep your thoughts coming in. And yeah. Right, at the car now. Can't get it in, that's what she said. So there we go. Trying to get a light on ASAP, man. But obviously there's no lights on yet. Right then, we got a light in this bitch. And we're here. Right, we're in the car. Keep this running for another 10 minutes because I'm going to have to wait for the lads when I get to the podcast place, so podcast studio. So let's keep this running for a bit and I'll read some of your comments out. But yeah, fan cams are coming up on youtube.com/fulltimedevils, so keep it locked for them. And my review from Vicarage Road, as well as Manchester United have lost yet again on the road. We haven't won back-to-back games away from home in the Premier League this season, which is frustrating. We're looking to do the same, but we didn't do that. Yeah, Shivesh, I picked the team that I thought Ole would pick. It wasn't my preferred 11. It's a predicted 11. There's a difference. Preferred 11 and predicted 11. There's a massive difference there. And yeah, I picked him in my preferred 11, my predicted 11, not my preferred 11. Looked great when we moved to 4-3-3. I think that's what we need to do. I think the 4-3-3, it draws people out a little bit more in the opposition. It draws their defenders out. It draws their midfielders out. So they're not as they can still sit in and be compact, but they're not as compact. Do I think Ole will last to the end of the season? Yes, I do. But I want to see some signs of improvement. I want to see him, signs that we're working on things tactically. We're coaching the boys, and we're trying to make these changes. We can't just keep trying the same thing and think, oh, one day it'll change, because it's not the way it goes. And today was awful, and the fans that have travelled down paid their money to go into the game, and they don't deserve that. So we do need to see some improvement. And how is it possible we can go to the Etihad and win? We can beat Spurs and all this, but we can't win these games. It's it's a real baffling one. Someone said it reminds me of United in the 70s and the 80s. We'd raise our game for the big games. We'd do okay in the cups, but in the league we'd always finish mid-table, and kind of sounds the way Manchester United are at the moment. And I think it was a bad day for everyone involved. I think the manager got it wrong. And he's got things to work on. And I think from back to front in the goal, in the team, De Gea, poor. Left back, poor. Luke Shaw, right back, Wan-Bissaka had a bad day. Maguire, Lindelof, poor. McTominay, Fred, poor. Lingard, James, Rashford, Martial, poor. Everyone was poor. But I think a lot of it came from the midfield and it just breaking down and nothing getting through, and nothing really coming through the line. So we need to improve in that aspect as well. And just a really, really disappointing day for Manchester United fans. The last game before Christmas, and we've gone and done this. Christmas gift from David De Gea to Watford, and United lose again. Frustrating, but that's the way it's gone. Anyway, head over to youtube.com/fulltimedevils. Make sure you're checking out the fan cams and all that coming from Vicarage Road. And for now, I've been AdamMcKola. I'm out of here.